see. 'Cause the world is but a treat when you're on Easy Street.
Welcome to the Easy Street Radio Show, hosted by Rob Scribner. Grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. Hey, thanks for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. This will help us grow. Also note, buying some of our merchandise or donating to our channel is very helpful also. Thank you for supporting our show. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Easy Street. This is episode 20. Yes, sir, Bob. And I have a couple of announcements. That's the most important thing. I have some announcements for kind of changes schedules and something new. And then we're going to talk about some a shout out real quick. And then we're going to address the 20 ways the world could come to an end. 20 of them. Now, the most important one is the 20th one. Really, it is. So we'll go through that list in a minute. Need to remind you that Easy Street is syndicated on Good Talk Radio. It's on several different platforms, including Spreaker, which is probably the easiest one to get to. If you go into our description, you will find links to everything we talk about in this show. And any of our merchandise, the shout out we're going to do, which is... give you a hint. It's the famous Lisa Haven. Yes, sir, Bob. And I'll tell you more about her in a minute. And but I need to go through the announcements real quick here. First of all, the live shows I'm doing right now is a bit heavy for our schedule compared to some of the things that are going on. So I'm going to do an Easy Street live show only once a week, starting next week. And why would Rob do that? Well, one is, yes, I enjoy the live shows. I might even do 2 in a week. I have to decide how well this goes. But we are launching a brand new show. And I got to go through my, well, first of all, we will be talking about Lisa Haven in a minute. But this is the new show. Yes, Ranger Rob has your back. That's right. What the heck is that? So... Yes, Ranger Rob has your back. And what that show is about is, as you saw in this show, that we're doing shout outs for different shows and stuff, but we want to get more personal. So literally, Ranger Rob has your back is designed to allow anyone who has a product, a service, a channel, a podcast, a radio show, a network that they're in or something like that, if they want to do a show with us, we will feature them on it, and we'll probably try to do 2 shows a week, and it'll be pre-recorded because interviews are just crazy. And I want to make sure every interview people have plenty of time to give us all the information about their product or service. So if you have a channel, if you have a show, a podcast, a product that you sell, a business or something like that, and the only requirement is you have to use Skype. Oh no, not Skype. Yes, Skype. And if you want to use Skype or you haven't used it in a while, we'll fire it up. We'll do some test connections between us. We'll be your guinea pig until we get it all worked out. And then once we do that, we can pre-record your interview with us, and it'll all be fun. Just plain old fun. And this is your opportunity to sell your websites, your Facebook pages, your Instagrams, your YouTube channels, whatever you got. It will be listed because we'll be talking to you earlier, and we'll have it on the description so everyone can find you. And so the purpose of the show is we got your back. We're going to help you. We're going to get the word out. Why? Well, it's good for us. And 2, it's good for you. And why are we tapering off on the Easy Street? Well, we're just concerned about a lot of world events and things like that, just like you. However, because we have a radio station and advertising, all that stuff, it's important that our channel stays, our shows stay monetized. And some of the subjects we talk about in Easy Street keep getting us slapped around. And not that I'm backing off, But people like I'm going to talk about here in a minute. In fact, let me go ahead and switch on over to her, Lisa Haven. There is some great alternative news out there, and you've heard us talk about them. We've talked about Marfugo. We've talked about Fringe Files. There's a whole bunch of others. Next News Network and things like that. AMTV. They are all working hard trying to find and get the stories that we're just not hearing on mainstream. However, there's one girl, one woman, one wonderful woman I like that. The reason I like her so much is she's from Arizona. So am I. Hey, let's meet up. So Lisa is a conservative Christian reporter, you might say, or has a platform to give us alternative news, to try to get facts under the headlines of mainstream and get the true stories. And I know, because I know how hard we work, I know how hard she works. She's constantly digging, constantly making connections, constantly working about, planning her next show, podcast connections, interviewing people. She's a hard worker, and we admire her for that. And we like her passion. We like her presentation. She's a wonderful, wonderful alternative news, Christian, conservative person to connect with, and you will enjoy her show. To find her show, go down to our description and look down, and you'll see we have her Facebook and her YouTube channel listed on in the description. Make sure you go and subscribe to her channel. It's important to her. And then she has an alternative news membership where she can get into the really intense news, the things that you can't normally have on YouTube, through a membership site. I think it's called the Republic or something like that. Anyway, I don't know the proper name, and I apologize if I didn't say that right. She deserves better. However, please take the time and find out what Lisa has to share with you. She does. She posts on YouTube, and she posts her show on Facebook. So one way or another, you'll catch her shows. And just, you can see in her eyes, you can hear it in her voice when something's really got her upset, concerned, and then she's trying to also fire us up and get us, fired up and concerned about things too. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I did want to show you her Facebook page. This is her Facebook page. She just type in Lisa Haven. She comes up very easily in the search bar, and then go over there and make sure and like her page over in Facebook. On YouTube, let's see if I can get that pulled up. One moment, please. Let me get all fired. And it's not fair for me to be playing any of her videos because she works hard on those. So please go to her YouTube channel at Lisa Haven News, or News Network, and you will you'll love her shows. They're entertaining. They're short. She's not a long-winded person, and she knows to keep the reports down at a reasonable time. And so anyway, yeah, check her out. She is awesome. Let me get my screen back up here. Hi, I'm back. And yeah, so Lisa Haven, she's all right. The next thing I wanted to make sure and show you was, yeah, here they are. We now got Easy Street ball caps, and if you want one, they're in the link. But as you can see, we have them on Amazon, and they're awesome. And I love our logo. It came out really good. It was made by a person named yeah, Aaron Jimerson. Just see. Oh gosh. Let me get back to my screen here. A senior moment there. Aaron Jimerson is our designer for a lot of our logos. He made the Ranger Rob. And yeah, so anyway, please, if you get a chance, the things that help us keep our channel going is your donations, of course, and liking and sharing and subscribing and all that thing is really important to us. But if you happen to pick up some of our Ranger Rob poopy bags or some of our merchant hats and things like that, it helps the channel, it helps the radio station, helps our cooking channel, it helps everything we do. And now the new show that's coming up, I just got bleeped, sorry. The Ranger Rob Has Your Back. We're going to work hard in getting the word out about your show, and hopefully we can get a hold or run into people that you don't normally get in contact with that may start following your product, service, or channel, whatever you're doing. And so if you're interested in being on the new show starting next week, Ranger Rob Has Your Back, go to the rangerrob.com and go to our contact page and give us a detailed information about what you'd like to do and what your product or service or channel is all about. And then we'll start the process of getting connected with you and all that kind of stuff. But we've got to talk about this. This cannot continue in our parks and streets. There is a dog bag out there that is larger and deeper and easy to use. Ranger Rob Poopy Bags is the solution. It's larger, it's deeper, and has handles and smells like lemon. You can find Ranger Rob Poopy Bags, premium bags, at Amazon with free shipping. And we're back. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. I don't want this one. I want to go to the other one. You guys probably see this one the most. Let's see if we can say the secret word. Look at that number over on the left. That really bad cold over in that Asian place is now confirmed at 60,000. It jumped up like from 45 to that like an hour ago. And total D's, is 1,368, and total recovers 5,995. But look at that number. And that's not what people think the real number is. That is insane. And there's lots of reports. Lisa Haven, she does lots of reports about that subject, and so does some of the other alternative news we talked to you about. And hopefully we'll get her on our Ranger Rob Has Your Back show. Love to have her, and I hope that we did her justice on this show. Let me see if I get her back up here. She deserves to be on here. I just got to get the right screen. And yeah, there is some curing eyes right there. And she, her presentation, watch her eyes. That's what tells you that she's sincere. So the big thing we need to get on to is, well, let me change my scenery here again. Let's go to this one right here. We'll just leave it there. Don't forget, rangerrob.com. We hold the trademark to that name. And obviously we have all kinds of products and stuff like that have to do with that. So anyway, there's one more thing I wanted to show you is I know I talked about podcasting and your voice and stuff like that, but we're all our whole radio thing is all under a little umbrella called Cutting Edge Radio Network. And we have our Cutting Edge Radio Network Spreaker page, which is just audio, is where we put all of our shows. So if I put here, you can see all the different shows that we have on here right now, and then all the different episodes are here. But what I wanted to tell you about is this is Spreaker, not speaker, but Spreaker. The Spreaker is a really good platform for people that want to start their own podcast. And you don't have to worry about creating a website or anything. And this site will also help you get connected with other platforms to advertise your site. And it's low cost, and you can monetize your show. So it's a really good deal. So yeah. Anyway, I guess you guys are now long awaiting the list of 20 ways the world could end. could end. So there's 20 of them, and I think the 20th one is actually the most important one. So let's start with number one. What do you think number one is? Yeah, asteroid impact. Have you noticed lately, and of course all the other shows and stuff saying, hasn't it been odd that there's been a lot of reports lately about that subject? So I don't know if we got something to be concerned about or not, but number 1 here is asteroid impact. Number 2 is gamma ray burrs. I don't know what a burr is, B-U-R-S, which is probably a breakdown of our atmosphere. Number 3, collapse of the vacuum. So once again, I think that's atmospheric or acidine. What is it do? Where the space just sucks up our air and all our clouds and water, and wouldn't be a pretty sight. I don't imagine life would be very pleasant after that. In fact, it'd be kind of short-lived, I think. Number 4. You ready for number 4? I don't know about this one. Number 4 is rogue terrorists, rogue black holes. Yes, so some black hole just like goes on a rampage and decides to suck us into it. Who knows? Maybe on the other side of a black hole, it's better. So I don't know if you such thing as we could get sucked into a black hole, but is it really that bad? Could it be better? Maybe we wouldn't have stars anymore, but well, I don't know. Who knows? I don't think anybody really knows what happens if we got sucked into a black hole. Okay. Number 5, giant solar flares, which it seems to be a lot of concerns about that lately. I haven't heard a lot lately about it getting bad or good. I do know that our atmosphere is having a harder time refracting some of the what they call cosmic rays and things that's like that coming into the atmosphere, and we have a higher radiation count because of that from bombardment from the space. And I'm sure that a really bad solar flare, if anything, could cause the EMP. I do know that, and I don't know if that would be our demise or if it was a solar flare that went even beyond that and caused massive heat and fire. So don't lose sleep over this stuff. If it happens, it happens. Let's see, what's our next one? Number 6, reversal of Earth's magnetic field. Now, I've heard in some it'd be bad. It'd be earthquakes and water and everything would be all messed up, but it might be survivable. However, a very large population of people would not make it. So I don't know if you could call that as one of the ways the world could end, but it sure would make it a bumpy ride. And I think it'd really thin out the population. Nobody really knows, really, right? I don't know. Let's see, what's our next one? Number 7. I don't know what this word is. I should have looked it up earlier, but it's flood, basalt, and volcanism. Volcanism is another way to say it. Floods, they're already saying we're having our seas are rising and our icebergs are melting, and there has been an uptick on volcanoes going up. I was actually living in Washington State when Mount St. Helens went off. It was pretty cool. I was actually up in the mountains fishing in a little lake in a little boat floating, and it sounded like a giant rifle went off, and we all thought, you don't think that much of it when you're out in the woods like that. Turns out that was the noise of Mount St. Helens blowing up, and then on the way home, of course, the radio was just buzzing with it, and in the distance you could see the ash cloud. It was pretty amazing. And of course they said, nobody come down here, stay away. What was the first thing we did? We're pretty young. I was in my 20s. We drove down there. We got almost down there until it got about 6 inches worth of ash, and we decided we better go back home. But, it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, and they tell you don't touch the plate, it's hot. So what do? You touch the plate. So after number 8 would be global economic. Oh my gosh, I can't pronounce things today. Disease, global disease, which we've kind of been talking about that lately. Epidemics is the word I was trying to say. Maybe I should have some more of this vodka and cranberry. Oh, it's just vodka. Water, sorry. Anyway, so after that one, let's see, what are we talking about? Ways the world could end. So these are the next one. It could be human-triggered disasters. So number 9, global warming. If global warming is probably, to me, more natural than it is man-made. The data, the science. Guys, look at the data, look at the science, find out is, if you look at history, some places are like, here used to be a jungle. The world has had its frozen moments and its heat up moments and things like that. So it's nothing new to the earth to have changes like that. The only people complaining is people. So global warming could be an issue, but I don't think it's human triggered. However, there's a lot of things that we do as human that we could do better to take care of our planet. I don't disagree with that. To have cleaner air is good. Cleaner water, that's good. To protect our plant life, to agriculture and finding a way to produce food that doesn't harm the environment so much. It's all important stuff. But I don't think it's part of global warming. It might contribute a smidgen, but the world has been through global warming before. It's been through global cooling too. So yeah, ecosystem collapse is kind of the next step. I was saying is, the way that we farm, the way that we produce meat and raise animals and stuff like that can't be sustained, and we've got to find a better way to do it. So we could actually starve to death, really, and damage our soil and our earth where it can't produce what we need as humans. So important. Number 11. What are we doing on time here? Number 11, biotech disaster. Some say what's going on over in that other country might be something like that. But Chernobyl's, things like that. It can be a lot of things that we could do ourselves that could cause a biotech disaster. Here's the other one, particle accelerator mishap. Yeah, you kind of wonder, it's like, all right, we spent all this money on a really crazy toy over in Switzerland, and by what they're trying to produce over there is a little scary, and the physics of nature, or quantum physics, or whatever that they're dealing with over there, may not be something that we need to explore unless we really understand it. But maybe that's the one way to learn how to understand it, after it sucks us into a giant black hole. I'm just reading this stuff. So ways the world could end. By the way, this is from the Discover magazine. I did put a link in our description below where you can read the details of each one of these. Number 13, nanotechnology disaster. Can't tell you a whole lot about that right now, but sounds like another human-triggered disaster. Yes, sirree. Number 14, environmental toxins, which we've talked about. It was really, if we hurt our water, that's the worst. And so, and of course, taking away all of our plant life and things like that would, and damaging our soils and things like that. That's a problem. And of course, because we don't take care of our environmental toxins, correctly, we could poison ourselves. So yeah, if you hear some dinging going on, I have a lot of people communicating with me for the new show, and of course they're doing it while I'm doing a live show. And of course, by the way, if you ever do live shows, your phones will ring, your dogs will bark. Yeah, everything that could go wrong, your internet will go down, whatever could happen, happens during a live feed. So every time. Number 15, global war. That's getting more likely, isn't it? Number 16, robots take over the world. Terminator. Yes, sir. Possibility. I don't know. I think they could cause some problems with systems. I don't think it's going to get like the Terminator kind of scenario, but I think that if they got integrated enough systems where they got smart enough to like, oh, let's shut off all the power in the United States, just because they think it's the best thing to do for the planet, could be a problem. I love this one. 17 is, I think we're already there. Half the population, liberals, mass insanity. Yes, mass insanity that could end the world. And there's a movie out there, is one, I can't remember the name of it, but where people just got in the mood to start killing themselves, suicidal. And it was a really weird disease, but anyway, it was kind of like watch The Walking Dead, only the dead actually died. 18, an alien invasion. Alien invasion. I guess we got to see some aliens first for that to happen. But by the way, this is under the category, a great force is directed against us. Alien invasion would be one of them. Number 19 would be divine intervention. I personally believe that's the one. All I can say is there's a book of life out there. They call it the Bible. And it talks about human history. And a lot of it matches up with a lot of data out there. And then, of course, a lot of things that are going on today is kind of matching up with a lot of things in that book. And I'm conservative, and I'm a Christian. And as I definitely have faith, and I definitely am at the point now where I'm looking up. For those of you that know what I'm talking about, I am looking up. I'm not saying things are looking up. I'm looking up. And when I'm looking up, I'm waiting for something. And in a way, it's scary. And a lot of it, we don't want it to happen. But if you have a faith, or have the faith I have, it's also the beginning of something new and exciting. So fear not, but look up. And last but not least, here it is. You ready? Number 20. You ready? This is the most important one. So let me get back to, what is it? 20 Ways the World Could End by Discover Magazine. Number 20, the top one. Someone wakes up and realizes it's all a dream. Yeah, that's the one I believe. So there you go. We now know 20 ways the world could end. Is there something I missed? I know it's doom and gloom, but I think the biggest thing to talk about when it comes to the world coming to an end, if you have a faith, you'll feel a little better. However, doesn't mean life is going to be easier. It's going to be tough. And if you read that book I'm talking about, there's some instructions of what we're really supposed to do. But it really comes down to look up, serve, fight a good fight, and the gift that's going to be given to all of us that make that sacrifice is going to be a really nice gift. So we're going to be tested one way or another, whether you believe it's faith or whether it's just something else. But we're all going to get tested here pretty soon, one way or another. And it's going to be tough, real tough. And I hope you have faith. If you don't, you might want to look into it. Start there. Say, well, what is it we're all talking about? If you don't like to read a dry book like that, try audio. That really helps. And it's a book that you really should understand, old text and new text. There's stuff in there you need to know. And a lot of ministers are not even talking about some of the most important part, which is the last chapters of Revelation, where it says this is actually the most important one you need to be teaching. So yeah, it says that. So anyway, guys, we've got to scoot. I want to thank you very much for listening to Easy Street Radio. And look forward to next week. We'll have some shows. I won't have any more shows on Easy Street this week. And then we're going to launch a new show. So we got a busy week next week. And if you're interested in Ranger Rob has your back, just go to rangerrob.com, go to the contact page and say, hey, I want to be a piece of that pie. And say, hey, no problem, we'll do it. So anyway, guys, gotta go. Gotta find my button. And have a great day. Be safe. Be healthy. Bye.